Welcome to the Weeb Lounge. This is our review of Archer class character Napoleon for Fate Grand Order. Now Napoleon he's somewhat of a recent character, heavily neglected, and I don't know, is it one of those that you should actually kind of look into? Let's take a look at the skills real quick. Number 1, party attack up for 3 turns, 20% max, and an additional 1 turn, 20% extra damage for himself. So I guess you could say 40% up for himself, 20% up for everybody else. More for him, less for them. 2, party NP damage up 1 turn, 20%, and party critical star generation 1 turn up to 100%. That could actually be pretty useful because you pop that, and if you happen to have like a quick NP or any kind of AoE NP going in there, it's going to generate a lot of stars. You pop that, do some Noble Phantasms or whatever it is you got to do, you could get flooded with stars for the next turn. So certainly useful, but kind of depends, you know, it depends. 3rd skill. NP gauge charge up to 30% max, ignore invincibility for 3 turns, and gain critical stars each turn for 3 turns 10 max, which kind of ties in with that other skill. So, crit stars, crit gen, hit hard. Alright, things are adding up here. Noble Phantasm, typical AoE class archer damage. It's about average on the scale. Average to high depending on what you're fighting, because the overcharge deals extra damage to divine, 150 to 200%, so 150% base. You're going up against divine characters, this guy can hit hard, and surprisingly, a lot of characters out there do qualify for divine. See him in action.
Now, Napoleon's one of those characters where he kind of seems to get a little neglected. He doesn't really stand out all that much, but maybe that's for good reason, maybe it's not. Let's see what kind of arts generation he can do. He does have 2 arts card, got it quick, so we're going to do arts quick arts. Always put the ones with the highest chance to crit toward the end. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. But is it really good? Yeah, I'd say it's a little above average. Arts quick arts has the ability to get generated as NP fairly well. Plus he has this little skill here. Gets more NP off of that. Now, his attack is AoE. Only got 1 person on the screen. Let's go ahead and do it anyways. We can just multiply by 3, right? Now his overgauge does extra damage against divine enemies, and unfortunately for people who's picked Saber Lily for your waifu, she is not qualify as divine, so we're not going to worry about that. But we are going to buff up his attack a little bit more. Now this is MP3. It hit pretty good, right? $90,000 multiplied by 3. I would say that's probably fairly average for an archer AoE type Noble Phantasm. Not terribly special, but it's right in there with everybody else.
Now, as you can see, generating his own arts Noble Phantasm, it's iffy. It's going to be really iffy. He could use some help. He could use some Waver or Merlin help or whoever. In terms of his Noble Phantasm, without the divine part to it, it's kind of average. With the divine part to it, that's going to hit pretty good. Is it going to be Gilgamesh level kind of damage? No, but depending on the fight, it could get a little close. Not quite. Which leads me to my conclusion of, do you need this guy? Nah, not really. Nah. I'm not going to say hard pass because he is a useful character. He can hit hard. If you don't have Gilgamesh, he might actually be the next hard-hitting damage dealer archer guy to go to. If you already have Gilgamesh, and I always meant to keep bringing up Gilgamesh because Gilgamesh, king of the whatever, everything. French Warlord Napoleon, his Noble Phantasm is pretty good, combined with the Divine. It's there. If you have Gilgamesh, you don't need this guy. So it's a soft pass. It's a conditional. If you don't have anything, any kind of 5-star equivalent, don't go for him. Otherwise, if you could use a good, hard-hitting 5-star archer, he's a good guy to go to. 2 to 3 copies at most because of the economy. And that pretty much sums him up. He's a really simple, no-nonsense character. Pretty much like he was in the old days, I guess, when he was conquering and doing stuff. I heard he actually wasn't short. That's kind of a myth. I don't know. Yeah. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, stream me over on twitch.tv/the Weeb Lounge, and we'll see you in the next video.